Hey Tubies, it's Psychic Bob. Well, I've been sitting here today and I'm meditating on this wonderful symbol of the hexagram. Maybe you guys have seen this. I think I may have shown this one to you, but I love this. This is known as, in Judaism, the Star of David. But it's not just limited to use by Jewish people. This is also a sacred symbol that is found in occultism and magical systems. And I love this symbol. I've been wearing this today. It's been bringing me a lot of peace because, you see, it's about the energy exchange between the worlds, okay? So you've got in the six-sided star, you've got two triangles. One is upward pointing and one is downward. And some people interpret this as the union of the Lord and the Lady, the upward triangle being the sign of fire, the sign of the god, the downward triangle being the sign of water, the sign of feminine energy, the goddess. And I really think that's true, at least for me when I look at that. And it also represents as above, so below. And it means that there is an exchange of power between the worlds, this world and the spirit world. So I've been wearing this today. I don't know if you can see, it's a little glare here. But this is my little gold one. It's a pretty little golden tone color, and it's got little crystals inset. I just love it. I've always been drawn to the Star of David. And you know, the other day when I was shopping, I bought some of those ornaments I was showing you. So this is just a symbol that means a lot to me. And I think that you know, actually when I was looking back at the history of Wicca, back in the early days of Wicca, like in the 1940s and 50s, you know, there wasn't a big pagan craft industry back then. And a lot of the early Wiccans wore the Star of David because they knew it was an occult symbol, mystical symbol. And it was the Lord and the Lady. So if you're Wiccan, you know, and you enjoy mystical symbols, you might want to explore working with this symbol and see what it's about. Anyways, had to share that with you. Well, here it is, it's Saturday, and I know I'm getting this out late. Psychic Bob's had a bit of a rough day. Last night I was severely attacked by the NSA. I am a targeted individual. I'm a victim of harassment. I'm going to put a video link in the box below for those of you who do not understand what I'm talking about. Targeting is happening all over this country, and I'm going to put a video link below, and it explains a little bit about what we're going through. So definitely see the video. Anyways, I don't want to focus on that today. It's taking me kind of all day just to get my energy up to even sit down and do a video. And so I am now just starting to come to life. So I know I'm getting this out late, but I appreciate you being here. And if you're not up to see this, at least you'll have it an early Sunday for you. Anyways, well, welcome to Spirit Channel. It's our Saturday night seance. By the way, how you like my Gucci shirt I got? Isn't this fun? Gucci is not sponsoring me, but I just love Gucci stuff. And so anyways, I wanted to come here tonight to do a seance with you because, you know, whenever I open the door between the worlds, just like this symbol, I have an energy exchange, and I am better always for that, and I hope you'll be better too. So I want to say thank you for your support. Thanks for your patience as I'm getting this out late. And welcome to all the newbies. This is something we do each week. We have a Saturday night seance. And what we do is this comes out of the old spiritualist church tradition. And in the old spiritualist church, what we used to do is go to mediums' homes on the weekend, and we'd have a little seance circle. And spirits would come through the mediums. And I got to tell you, I was very privileged to go to a number of seances. And I was always amazed and blessed by it. So I invite you guys to have this experience. So here you are in my home. We're in my living room. And if you were here physically, I'd have you literally put chairs here around my chair. So just pull up your chair to your computer. And in virtual reality, you really are here with me. So I welcome you to our seance tonight. Well, I'm going to settle down and go into trance. And what's going to happen is the spirit people overshadow me and they speak through me. I never know what's going to happen. It's always an adventure. So, you know, we'll see what they bring. You know, last night I was meditating and I asked the spirit people if they would give us some insight more on the Ashtar Command and the interaction with aliens. I don't know if they're going to answer that. I got the sense from them that they were receiving what I was saying. So I put it out there. Maybe they'll bring that through tonight. I don't know. I hope so. But we'll see what they got. So just as I always say, be open to whatever they bring, because, just the fact that the communication can occur is really a miracle in itself, and hopefully we'll get some good stuff. So guys, pull up your chairs. We're going to have a seance. I'm going to go into trance. I'm going to take down the lights, and I'll see you when I get back, so just hang on, because I will come back and we're going to talk a little more, okay? So I'll see you when I get back. All right. So let me turn off the light here. All right. Oh, greetings, this is Fletcher here. Give us just a moment while we get control of the medium's vibration. We're trying to gently raise the power. He's been a little bit drained today, and we don't want to do it too fast and injure his body. So give us just a moment here. Oh, it looks like the power is stabilizing. Well, we got somebody who wants to come here and say a few words. So I'll be stepping from the body. My name is Fletcher. Over and out. Yes, I do believe that we've made contact with medium's vibration. During my earthly life there was a great mystery. Many people of my day speculated on was there life after death. And of course, through my studies of magic and spiritualism, I came to understand that there is an eternal soul, that there is a living substance in the human being that is the spirit, the spark of life. If you have ever seen somebody die, you will know what I'm speaking of. I have been beside the bedside of companions in their death throes, and you see in the face a certain light, and when death occurs, when the silver cord of life is severed, there comes an emptiness. And in that moment when I first saw a friend of mine die, it was a terrible thing. He was in a car accident and I was in the vicinity, and I approached him as he lay on the ground, and I saw him and I prayed with him and talked with him, and I remember seeing in his eyes suddenly a vacancy. There is no doubt that when the soul leaves the body, that there is a severing and an emptiness that occurs. And in that moment of seeing my friend's death, I became acutely aware that the human body upon death simply becomes a shell. The true person that you are will never cease to exist. And that body that you inhabit is only like a coat that you wear. Someday it will wear out and it will be cast aside. Do not spend too much energy worrying about the body. Certainly we must take care of the body, respect it and honor it. But ultimately you will cast it aside and the true you will emerge. And in that moment of emergence, you will understand who you are in your totality, and you will enter into the realm that is known as the spirit realm. When I had my death, I did not enter into the light, but into the place of darkness. And it was because I had lowered my vibration to such a level that I could not attain the light. When you leave the body, you will cross into a realm that is comparable to your vibration. So try to understand that as you live today, you create your future for tomorrow, not only in this world, but in the world to come. As I was very fortunate to be taught by my spiritualist friends, they said that the doorway to reformation, to a soul, to any soul, is never closed at all to anyone here or hereafter. And so what this means is that even if you find yourself in the darker places of purgatory as I were, you would have an opportunity, even in that very moment, to open your mind and your heart to receive the light of the spirit world. It says in the Bible, and I am not necessarily a big Bible believer, But I can say there are certain truths that I have found to be true since coming here to the spirit world. And one of the very truths of the soul is that, you see, you always have the chance to open to the light. The love of the divine permeates all reality. And if you open your mind and your heart to that reality, it will come to you. No one is truly eternally separated from God. How could this be? For you are very much the very essence of God, and God should be incomplete were you not ultimately to be rejoined with him. And we know over here in the spirit world that God is never incomplete. When we speak of God, please understand we're not speaking of some man on a throne throwing lightning bolts. The divine is the eternal consciousness that permeates all of the cosmos. We say the term infinite intelligence, and this is probably the closest I can come to explaining the reality of the divine. As you grow closer to infinite intelligence, you merge your own consciousness with that consciousness. And in that merging, you discover who you are and who God is. And it is a glorious experience. I have not yet myself attained full mergence, for had I merged fully with the Godhead, I would not be able to be here to speak with you. There are some souls who we say they go beyond and beyond. And when we say they go beyond and beyond, we mean that they even leave their temporary self-consciousness and merge with the infinite. It is, from what I've understood, an experience that is unbelievable and indescribable. Yet even souls in that chance have an opportunity to leave the Godhead and return back to their individual selves, and if they choose to, can so reincarnate if they desire. Over here, free will dominates, but please understand that free will must also be in harmony with divine will. So you cannot come here and create havoc and discord. It will not be permitted. And for the soul that seeks to travel down that path of havoc and discord, they will be removed from their station and advance backward. Yes, souls can travel backward. But again, remember, as I said, those souls here have the opportunity to grow, and the doorway to reformation, meaning the improvement of the soul, is never closed to any soul here or hereafter. Yes, Fletcher. Fletcher's asking me to remind me to discuss some things that our medium has requested for me to speak on. So I should like to address his questions. It was put to us last night and to other members here in the spirit world. There was a question as to the role of alien intelligence, particularly those who claim to be of the high levels of the White Brotherhood, and I speak of those who are connected to the Ashtar Command. Let us say that there are beings in other worlds throughout the cosmos. Life is found on every world. The great creator, infinite intelligence, has populated his creation with life. The creator's modus operandi is consciousness in his life, and it would not make sense that a mind so vast and expansive as infinite intelligence would create an empty and dead cosmos. No, throughout all the stars there are worlds with beings who inhabit it. So yes, life does exist in the other worlds, and every planet in the cosmos has an opportunity to practice evolution. So the souls who live on other worlds, such as there are souls who live on the planet Mars, for example. Throughout human history, there's been a fascination with the planet Mars, and people said, is there life on Mars? And speculation has been on the Earth for many years. Ever since the telescope first saw the canals on Mars, there was belief that there may have been an ancient civilization. Might I say that through infinite intelligence, there was life created on all the planets, yes, including Mars. And from each of these various planets that have life, there is the chance to grow closer to the Creator. Humanity makes the terrible mistake of assuming that it has the knowledge of God. It says we are special and unique, and God only created us, and there is no other life in the cosmos. This is bunk. Do not believe it, for God loves all of his creatures. And when I speak of God as he, and please understand that it is only because of my convention of speech that I use this term. But really, when we speak of God, we have to expand it also into the term of they, for God is mother and father. God is all creatures. God is all life. And in all life resides the very presence of the divine. And even as I've said, the word God is limited in its term and scope. So we use here the term. It is used throughout the spiritualist movement of infinite intelligence. And I think that is the closest approximation that I can find within human language. In the spirit world, there are other languages, and these languages are the heavenly language. And many of the great saints and prophets have heard the words spoken to them when traveling in the cosmos and the ethers, and they've come to return to your earth and said, I spoke a language I know not, but this language was from the heavenly language. The human mind in its earthly capacity is limited, but when you are outside of your body, you will find that your mental capacities are expanded infinitely. And like infinite intelligence that you are, you can share in an understanding and knowledge of all language, all peoples, and all worlds. The words that were put to us with request was questioning the truth of the Ashtar Command. And I wish to say that I have encountered beings here in the spirit world who are connected to this reality. Interestingly, one of the things that I learned when I returned here to this world was that I had actually myself encountered them during my earthly life. There was a ritual magic working that we undertook back in my younger years at Cambridge University. And in that seance, or that, I should say, ritual working, we had a being appear to us. He would appear to be what you would term the tall grey aliens. He was most profound and mystical so, and he spoke to us of life throughout the worlds. At the time, we only thought he was speaking of the spirit worlds, but we've come to understand, at least I have in my recent years, that he was speaking also of terrestrial worlds. So I did receive a message in my life, and through that visible apparition of a grey alien. And he was a good grey, he was a tall grey, a very intelligent grey. He was connected also to the Ashtar Command. As I have come to understand it, that this Ashtar Command is made up of many beings of many races from throughout the universe. It is the brightest and the best, and those who have developed their soul consciousness to be aligned with infinite intelligence. These are the ones who make the contact with those of you who remain on the earth. Many of you will be receiving contacts in the coming year. For in the year 2018, it has been shown to us here that there will be an expansion of awareness of what is termed the alien presence upon the earth. So be prepared for this connection and for this communication. I have been asked to help those of you who seek to awaken your mind to infinite intelligence and to all that it contains, to please be open to my presence. You may call upon me. If you say, Alfred, and this is my name, that you will know me by, as you say, Alfred, come and assist me with the opening and the communication. Help me to align with infinite intelligence. I should be most pleased to come and work with you and assist you. It is our will here in the spirit world that those of you who remain on the earth realms will have harmony and peace. It is true that the earth is at a place where there is much trepidation now, and people have forgotten the truth of life and the sacredness of all reality of life. And so those of us, and particularly those of the Ashtar Command, are very concerned about the dangers that are coming upon the earth. If the balance of power remains unchecked, there will be great destruction. Now, we don't say this to traumatize or to terrify you, but we say it as a warning and a point of awareness. So there are beings who will reach out to you. The Ashtar Command are what is properly termed members of the White Brotherhood. Yes, over here there are various beings and they form organizations to assist in enlightening people of the earth as well as other worlds. In the past there were ancient wars in the cosmos, and the planet Mars went through a period of war many millions of years before your Earth's life forms evolved, and there was great destruction. Some of those from Mars survived and they again recolonized. Many of the Martians these days inhabit in underground chambers on the planet, and this is why when the spacecraft circle that planet, they say it's a barren planet, but they do not understand that below the surface there exist thriving communities. So, to answer our medium's question and those posed by others, yes, the Ashtar Command is a member of the Cosmic Alliance for the good of all souls. And so do not have fear of them. Many of you are going to receive messages from them. Be open to the communications, if you will. And in so doing, you will understand more about the evolution of humanity and the power that is available to you. Fletcher says there's somebody else wishing to speak, so I must step from our medium's vibration now. But I do thank you for receiving me. My name is Alfred. Oh, my dears, this is Rose. Oh, yes, it's so good to be in the body here. You know, our medium had been most concerned about his vibration. He went through a terrible ordeal in the last few days, and his energy's been somewhat drained. We're hoping tonight for our communications to help bring healing to his body and to raise his vibration in order that he will have more power to go forward in the coming days. You know, I was listening in very closely as Alfred was teaching about the alien life forms that are communicating with the earth. I must tell you, when I first came over here, this was something that I was totally taken aback by. In my earthly life, I'd heard people speak of aliens, and I used to say, little green men, please, my dear. You know, I didn't give much belief in any of that. And can you but imagine my shock upon arriving here and seeing strange, well, forgive me for saying, but in the appearance at the moment it was strange-looking beings. And I said to people standing here, you know, I said, what is that? Who are they? And they said, dear Rose, do you not understand? Life takes many forms in the universe. Oh, I said, do you mean they're little green men? And the person I spoke with said, oh yes, little green men, but many others besides that as well. Well, I must tell you, it was a shock to me. But as Alfred has said, it's very true that life is found throughout the world. And as I have come to unite my own mind with the greater good, the Lord God, I have come to understand that his mind sees many perplexities of reality far vaster than any of us can see. And so he has created life throughout all the worlds, and all of the life is meant to bring joy to the universe. And you know, each of the alien races also struggle with their own evolution. Some of them are higher, some are lower, some are good people, some are, well, frankly, bad people. Yes, you see, good and bad exist in all life. And so, as spirit beings now, our goal is to raise the consciousness not only of the earth people, but of those other worlds and beings. I have to say, I have yet that opportunity to travel into the other worlds and work with them. But in the future, I do hope I have the chance to do that. But you see, many of them receive better communications from their own kind. And so, for example, you know, the grey aliens, as many people know of, they receive visitations from spirits that are grey aliens because they can adjust and relate to their vibration much more quickly. But you see, even though that this occurs, there is still an exchange of knowledge. There are many earth people today who are receiving messages from other beings other than earthlings. And this is all good and well. You know, as each soul is ready, it is able to receive the light to which it is accustomed and ready for. So you never have to worry. If you have a neighbor who says, I've been in touch with the Palladians, don't be so quick, my dear, to write them off as a madman or a madwoman, because the truth is, they may be very far more advanced than yourself and are able to receive such communications. So, at the moment, though, I tend to work only with the humans, and that's where I seem to have my niche. And I do hope that some of you out there listening will begin tonight your spiritual journey of being open to our worlds and our presences, and let yourselves, in your moment of quiet, contemplate the spiritual world, and know that we are only a whisper away, and if you reach out to us, we will reach out to you. You see, over here we have a rule. We cannot interfere in your journey unless we're given permission, so you must invite us in. And if you do so, we will come and give our presence to you and help you on your journey. Yes, Fletcher. Fletcher has said that the medium's power is growing weak, so we're going to have to be stepping from the body. But we wish to tell you thank you for taking the time to receive us tonight. It is my pleasure always to be here, and I do hope that each of you will reach across the divide, know that the veil is very thin, and we're able to reach back to you. Oh my, the power is going. I feel myself fading, but know that I'm always available to you, and I will come to you if you will but reach out to me. My name is Rose. Hey, Tubies. It's Psychic Bob. Well, I tell you, I'm back from channeling, and I love to channel. I tell you, I've been having a really rough day, but once I started channeling, I felt something shift in me. And now that I'm back and conscious again, I feel like they've done healing on me, and that's really a nice feeling. So I want to share it with you. So now I can't say every medium goes through this. I've had some mediums say that channeling really drains them, and maybe that's their experience, but just for myself, I feel really good. So I'm glad that I took the time to sit. I almost didn't do the seance tonight because I was feeling rough, but I'm so thankful I did. And I hope that their messages tonight were helpful to you. If you've enjoyed this, you might want to check out my books over my website. This is my book about my work as a trance channel, Messages from Rose. You can get that at my website. I'll put the link below. I have a bookstore there. If you go to the top of the page, you'll see a tab. It says Bookstore or Books, and you can click on that. Here's another book. I have Psychic Bob's Book of Wiccan Wisdom. This is just my experiences, and it's got different thoughts about the magical world of Wicca, and it's got some wonderful pictures. So, you know, check these out. They're over there, and I have a few other books. I have a book called Ouija Mysteries. I also have another book called When Worlds Unite, which is my largest work. That's a book about channeling as well. So we got a lot of stuff over there, so I hope you'll pop over there and check it out. Well, I've so enjoyed having a chance to be here, and I love you guys. I just want to send you my blessings and thank you. Listen, keep it here. Tomorrow is Sunday, and you know the sun is a healing power. So we're going to go out and be in the sun if it's not raining. Even if it's raining, we'll go out the rain because, you know, there's still sun there a little bit. But we're going to have a day in the sun tomorrow, and we'll see what that was going to be like. Till we get there, we don't know, but we'll see. But be here tomorrow for that, for Sunday. You guys are best. Thank you for being patient with me. I hope that you'll be able to see this tonight, and it'll bless you. So we'll see you back here tomorrow for Sunday, Day in the Sun. And until then, may you always blessed be.